Hi there, I'm Georgina. I'm going to share with you 3 steps that I wish I knew a long time ago to stop emotional eating. So this is the kind of emotional eating where you get to the end of that huge packet of whatever snack you've rummaged in your kitchen and you just can't believe that you've eaten it so mindlessly, you've got to the end of it and you're feeling so disgusted with yourself. And does this keep happening for you? Because if it does, then you're really in the right place. I completely understand where you are. I was like this for 2 decades. So here are the 3 steps. We're just going to get straight into it. The first one is awareness. So the fact that you're here, the fact that you've maybe Google searched how to stop emotional eating is great because you're aware that there's something that you want to change about your behavior with food. And awareness is so great, but we need to go a little bit deeper now. So getting in touch with your hunger cues and your fullness cues, recognizing when you get that craving, that's an emotional state that's creating that thought that's telling you to reach for the food. And when we feel physically hungry, it's different. When you're physically hungry, there could be any kind of food that you enjoy and it would satisfy that hunger. But when we have an emotional craving, an emotional hunger, it's usually a lot more specific. And you can also notice by the intensity of the thoughts you're having. So when you're physically hungry, you might be a bit more likely to just have a gentle nudge of a thought like, maybe it's time to eat soon. And you obviously notice those physical symptoms in your body. But when you have that emotional hunger, it sounds more like a demanding toddler. It sounds like, if you have children, you'll know. Or it just sounds like maybe a drill sergeant or a commander in your ear, like, go get the food now, now, now. And it feels so intense and it feels like you have to follow through. And that's where an emotional craving is so different. So having this awareness of what's going on, what's creating this desire for me to eat this. Also the awareness of the emotional state you're feeling. So can you label how you're feeling? Is it out of boredom, loneliness, restlessness? This was my experience, that whenever I moved to a new country or had a stressful situation at work, I reached for food. Food was my comfort. And so recognizing what the emotional state is, being aware of that emotional state, and then trying to create more of the opposite of that emotion in your day-to-day life. So for me, what I could have done is, because I was feeling lonely being in a new country, having a new job, I could have reached for connection and community, and that would have made me feel less alone and less likely to reach for food. So really getting very aware and then practical on how you can create more of the opposite emotion in your life is such a great step that you can take today. You don't need any more help with that one. The second thing is permission. So often with everyone that I've worked with myself in the past, we are denying ourselves the foods that we like because we're trying to look a certain way, fit into a dress size, be thin enough, etc. And we're not giving ourselves permission to enjoy the foods that we want. So we might be on a calorie deficit or following a certain health regime, and that level is creating this deprivation within us that makes us then later reach for that food in our kitchen and just go crazy and have no control, because we're depriving ourselves and not giving ourselves permission to truly eat what we want to eat and also let ourselves enjoy it. Do you ever go out for dinner and there's something you want to order, but you don't? You think, oh no, it's not really that healthy, it's too many carbs. So you choose the other thing. And then you get home and you're like, oh, well, I didn't really enjoy that. So then you're going to your fridge or to your cupboard to find some more foods that you did enjoy because you're not actually satisfied, because you didn't give yourself permission to eat what you really wanted, and therefore you're reaching for more food later. So we need to give ourselves permission more often to eat the things that we actually enjoy. So that's a really fun step. And it might feel scary because if, like me, I had a binge eating disorder, so I really didn't have any control with food in the end, and I had to get professional help. And that's why now I give professional help, because it was so life-changing for me that I no longer binge eat or emotional eat. But if you can give yourself permission to eat some of the things that you really want to and not be so strict, and allow yourself that when you do eat them, let yourself enjoy them, you will notice that you'll be less likely to need to have more of that stuff later, because you've let yourself be there, be present, and give yourself permission to eat it. And this leads on to the third step, and this is our intentionality. So I briefly mentioned like the presence, but being intentional. So if you get to this evening and you feel that craving, that urge, and you can't do the things to stop it just yet because we're still early in this process, and I'll share more as time goes on, then being intentional. So if you're reaching for the cookies or the biscuits, chocolate, whatever it is, instead of just eating it out of the packet, or even just eating out of the cupboard with your head in the fridge, is like things I used to do, and I have no judgment over any of your unhealthy eating habits because I've probably done them all and worse. Being intentional, getting a dish, a bowl, whatever, putting intentionally the food in that bowl. So you're no longer feeling like a raccoon with your head into a trash can. You're really intentionally saying, I give myself permission to eat this. I'm being intentional. I'm putting it in the bowl. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to let myself enjoy it. And trying to practice some mindfulness in that. So this can look like moving your phone away, turning off the TV, not having distractions, but letting yourself enjoy the food. And if you do have issues with food like I used to, this might be quite uncomfortable to begin with, but this practice is going to help stop you emotional eating mindlessly. So you're not going to get to the end of those packets feeling disgusted with yourself if you keep practicing this mindfulness. And something we can do right now is just grounding into our body, so it makes it easier for us to connect to our hunger, to connect to our fullness, to connect to the emotional state we might be feeling, to connect to the thoughts that are driving the emotional state. So we can do that now, placing our hand on our lower tummy, 1v1 hands on your heart, on your chest, and intentionally inhaling through the nose, and feel your tummy expand, then carry the inhale up to your chest, and then letting go with a nice long exhale. So we inhale to the tummy, inhale to the chest, and then big exhale. Let's do it together 3 times. So hopefully you can notice that you just feel a little bit clearer. Maybe there's less mind chatter going on in your brain right now. Maybe you can notice a deeper connection to yourself for a moment. And from this place, then go get the food. Allow yourself, give permission, be aware of what you're feeling, and be intentional about it. And I promise you, if you keep practicing these 3 things, you will notice your relationship with food improve so much more. I'm going to be sharing videos every week on ways that my clients stop binge eating and emotional eating and have a healthy relationship with food and their body, and they develop healthy habits like daily workout habits, breath work, meditation, anything that helps make life that much more enjoyable and less of a challenge for us. I am a certified health coach and Pilates instructor. I have 5 years experience working with people on these issues, and I'm really happy to share this in this way because it gives me more availability to reach more people. So I hope you've enjoyed, and if you have, subscribe and follow along for the next videos next week. Okay, chat to you soon. Bye-bye.